Hello, hello, hello. Got a short one here today. We're going to watch some fearsome top 5. So we're just going to focus solely on the ghost videos, see how they go. It's only going to be quite a short stream, might only be about an hour, so let's crack on and get through them.
Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Things are about to get creepy as we dive into 8 scary ghost videos. Number 1. A woman named Delaney often posts videos on TikTok, most of which, according to her bio, feature pugs and things. But hidden among the adorable clips is one video that feels far more unsettling. In 2023, Delaney had a baby monitor set up in her child's room. One night, she suddenly had the urge to check the feed, and what she saw next made her stomach drop.
Well, that is creepy as shit. Imagine.
On the left side of the room, against the wall, what looks like a dark figure can be seen standing. This black silhouette stood motionless in the corner of the room until it bone-chillingly reached over and touched the bed. This black ghostly hand came close to the sleeping child, who was totally unaware of the nightmare that was nearby. This phantom arm only lingered for a few moments before retreating back into the darkness. Whatever this was, I don't really care to find out. And if I saw this in my house, I wouldn't hesitate to burn the place down. Number 2. A man on TikTok named Don shared a story from when he used to work security at a clothing store. One day while keeping an eye on the cameras in the back room, he noticed a man acting suspicious. Don had a strong hunch that the man might be stealing, but as he continued watching closely, he noticed something strange, something that caught him completely off guard.
Look right here. Look right here. Right here. Look. Watch. What is that? What is that? And it's just gone, bro. Look at this. It's there,
What
and
the
now it's not. It's there, and now it's not, bro. What is that? Bruh. What is that?
What the
What
fuck
is that? And then it's just gone. Bruh. What is that? One more time.
I do
Bruh,
CCTV
what is
for
that?
my job, and I hope and pray that I find something
What
like this.
is that?
As the
Still
man
not
fiddled with the
happy yet.
clothes, something strange appeared beside him. Next to his leg, a bizarre object, or possibly a creature, manifested out of thin air. It was caught in a few frames of the video before disappearing just as quickly as it showed up.
That looks
The
like a
man was
dude with a
definitely
little
unaware
mustache.
of what was lingering next to him, and Don couldn't help but scratch his head as he tried to figure out what this could possibly be. Number 3. Paranormal investigators Elliot and Joe from the Ghost Theory YouTube channel set out to investigate an abandoned house left to decay in the middle of the woods. Rumors of a haunting inside caught their attention, with one person claiming to have seen a shadow man lurking within the empty rooms. Unlike other abandoned homes they've seen, this one looks as if someone is still living there, with everything left behind and in near perfect condition. After exploring the house during the day, the guys made their way back inside at nightfall, but something was different. A TV in one of the rooms was now on. The investigators then made their way upstairs, and as they did, a static camera they set up on the ground floor caught something chilling.
Is there anyone here that can hear us, who can make contact?
I mean, when did they leave though? Because it looks spotless in there.
I swear I just heard music. What is that noise? Hang on, hang on. Is that the fridge?
I can't hear
The
anything.
world's loudest fridge.
It's the humming still.
No, there's... Sounds like a fucking drill.
It's like water, isn't it?
No.
Is that not like just water pouring?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
That would be tricky as
I
fuck.
can't tell if that's in there or downstairs. Well, we need to look either way, whatever we're doing.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't look as clean now, but in the kitchen it looks like someone still lives there. It doesn't look dirty per se.
You can right off. You can right off. You can actually off. The fucking radiator.
So, I mean, why would the electric still be on if they left in a hurry?
On
How
camera.
long have the people been gone for in this house?
That was not on when I went upstairs.
With no one around, a radio downstairs somehow turned on by itself. Joe could have sworn he heard something and nearly shit his pants when he discovered the radio was now on. The two tried to figure out how this could have possibly happened and were starting to get worried that someone else was in the house. But that's when Joe remembered the camera they set up facing the room.
That camera's got that whole room in shot. And this. Sort of.
Yeah.
Like, how do we walk up and turn that on without being on camera? How does anyone walk up to that to turn it on without being on camera? It's impossible. Like, I'm absolutely obviously not saying that someone's here and turned that on. But
you never know either.
we need to see on camera that actually turning itself on, because at least we can rule out whatever.
I know that there's probably a logical explanation for that. Maybe. But that is shit scary.
We weren't even up there for very long. There it goes. That's literally just turned on. We were up there for a couple of minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah. We would have literally been upstairs for about 6 or 7 minutes. Well, we were upstairs for 9 minutes, I guess. It only takes a couple of seconds to just get up the stairs. I'm just showing this on this camera so you can see it unedited. There it goes. It's like someone literally presses a button on it, and it just clicks and turns on.
That's quite good. See, I was assuming someone could have just used the remote. But you do hear the click.
Okay, there's being on a timer.
You can't do that. Can you do that?
Still freaked out, Elliot and Joe made their way to the next room, and that's when Joe had an unexpected experience.
This is one of those ones again where you call out, nothing happens, and
Ooh! Wow! That's funky!
oh, I felt that.
Oh, wow!
Ah. Did that hurt?
Yeah,
Did that it?
it still is.
Oh,
That's mind-boggling. What twat makes an invisible coffee table? It literally, the books of... Cough, you bastard!
what?
Just go away! Wow.
I was already shocked a
I've
bit.
got to find these two, man. These are quite funny.
That really hurts, but okay, good.
Now with a freshly broken leg, Joe began asking questions, eager to see if a response would come.
Is there someone here? We're both very confused about this house. There's rumours that it's haunted. We've been told that it's potentially haunted, even shown proof. Is there a shadow man in this house? I fucking hate this place. I don't like that. What? That is footsteps on the fucking wooden floor.
Joe asked if there was a shadow man in the house, and he seemed to get a chilling response. A loud bang came from a nearby room, sending Joe reeling back in fear. Elliot led the way, and the two moved from room to room, double-checking that there was no one else around. Then Joe had the brilliant idea to once again mention the Shadow Man, and what happened next made their blood run cold.
The last time I mentioned a shadow figure, we had what sounds like walking. Can you do that again? Are you the shadow man that we've been hearing and someone else has seen? Oh, yes, it is.
Hearing another loud noise in response to mentioning the Shadow Man seems like an awfully strange coincidence, leading them to believe that they might actually be communicating with something dark. With all the activity they experienced throughout the night, Elliot and Joe were sufficiently creeped out and decided it was time to scurry out of there.
I like them too. They're
Number
quite good.
4.
I'll have to try and find them.
In 2020, a woman on TikTok named Blurred Blondes 2 uploaded a video that quickly went viral, gaining over 3 million views. One night, she was out at a bar with some friends, and the group decided to record a quick video to capture the moment. But what they caught instead left them terrified. Behind the girl on the far right, a ghostly face emerged from the darkness, appearing directly behind her as it eerily leaned closer. The girl immediately sensed something unsettling behind her, yet she seemed to be the only one who noticed. With its pale appearance and haunting black eyes,
I
this
could've
chilling
swore you
figure
could see
looks
the
like something
hands as
straight
well.
out of a scary movie. And to anyone watching that's about to go to bed, I apologize that you had to witness that.
What was
Number
that just one of their
5.
hands that looked into?
Despite dealing with a haunting force in his home for the last few years, a man named Tristan just can't seem to get it to leave. No matter what he tries, the spirit just won't seem to budge. Anytime this activity seems to stir back up, he immediately pulls out his phone to get proof that what he's experiencing is very real.
Yo. Can you imagine catching something like that? That's insane.
Tristan immediately began recording after hearing movement coming from his bathroom. As he flipped on the lights, he was met with a terrifying sight. The bathroom doorknob was aggressively turning as if someone was inside. His blood ran cold as he soon remembered that he was home alone. He cautiously stepped closer, and before he could get the chance, the door opened on its own. After panning his camera around inside, it became clear that no one was in the bathroom. And this video just became yet another reason why Tristan should highly consider getting the hell out of there. Number 6.
Imagine
After
catching
years of
something
dealing
like
with a
that.
paranormal
That
presence
would
in
be
her home,
insane.
a woman named Kathy has almost become numb to the chilling activity around her. But the key word here is almost, because every once in a while, something happens that makes her blood run cold. As she was doing dishes, a box suddenly came flying out of the cabinet. This sudden movement made her jump and immediately run away in fear. If we take a closer look and slow it down, there doesn't seem to be any logical reason for this box to come flying out, especially with the amount of force that it did. So was this another paranormal encounter, or is there a more logical explanation? Number 7. There's something undeniably unsettling about hospitals. With so many lives lost within their walls, it's easy to imagine a lingering darkness. For a man on TikTok named Daniel, that eerie energy became more than just a feeling. While working in a hospital, he had a first-hand encounter with something he still can't explain.
This door keeps on opening and closing. Like, there's nobody here. I'm not doing the sensor. But it keeps on opening and closing.
That could just be a malfunction at all, though.
And I'm alone. I'm f***ing alone.
While Daniel was
Stuff
alone
like that,
delivering
that could
medication,
be a
two heavy metal doors began to eerily creak open and shut on their own. He watched them do this several times, but with no one around to trigger the sensor, it made no sense. And to make things even more
So it's like in work we've got a motorised barrier, comes up and down, blah blah blah, but the motor has been dodgy for the last like week, so it'll get almost closed and then bang, it'll just bounce back up. It's that could just be a fault in the motor.
unsettling, this all happened during the graveyard shift, easily making this encounter at least 30% freakier. Number 8. A woman named Rosanna has consistently documented the bone-chilling paranormal activity that's plagued her apartment for over a year. From flickering lights and doors moving on their own to the occasional low menacing growl, her experiences are nothing short of unsettling. I've come across countless videos of hauntings over the years, but hers in particular strike me as being very genuine. At times, the activity in her apartment seems to die down, but as soon as Rosanna starts to feel at ease, the dark force always comes back.
Just gonna turn the fan off for a little bit. Oh, I've seen their videos. Well, I've seen some of them. Now that is trippy. seen that
Rosanna
one.
was cautious as she approached the sound of the tapping, and as she turned to face the bathroom, she was met with the chilling sight of the toilet seat moving on its own.
What do
She
we
stepped
think
back
there,
in
peeps?
fear, only for the bathroom door to swing shut and begin moving. Rosanna's a lot braver than I am, as she then stepped into the bathroom where an ominous
Seems
growl
viable.
can be heard. Watching her videos always gives me chills, so I can only imagine how it feels for
But
her
notice
to
any sort of
actually
cut
experience
in the
it.
footage or not either, so.
Make sure to follow me on Instagram to hear more
Not
from
bad,
your boy.
not
As always, if you enjoy these,
Not bad, not bad. Let's see. Let's go to his channel. Okay, so we'll just watch that. Go ahead, we'll do this one next. Here we go.
welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Today we're diving into 8 scary ghost videos, too creepy to watch alone. Number 1. Over on
I'm just gonna say this. That is a pet peeve. It's a top 5. His name is Fearsome Top 5, but he's doing top 8. I'll leave it there.
a YouTube channel called The Path Beyond, a woman named Kathy shares eerie footage of the haunting in her home. Kathy and her family have been dealing with an unwanted presence for some time now, and over the last few years, they've slowly started to get used to the unexplainable things that happen around them. A few old dolls that are kept in the house are often the target of this unseen force, and with a camera set up facing them, Kathy caught something that sent chills down her spine.
Oh, mate, I fucking hate dolls. I hate dolls. Hate them. I always feel like they're just looking at you. They follow you around the room. It's weird.
After midnight, this camera was triggered by the movement of one of the dolls. The doll on the right slowly leaned forward completely on its own, and it doesn't appear to have simply fallen over as it then sat back up. With a mere position behind them, we would have seen if anyone was manipulating the dolls, but no one was around when this video was caught.
Yeah, that doll's
Kathy must be
getting
one of the
lit on
bravest
fire,
people
mate.
on the
Fuck
planet,
that.
because these creepy ass dolls would never be allowed in my house. Number 2. A TikTok user that goes by Rom7 only has one video on his account. One day while at school, he was skipping class and headed towards the bathroom. He turned off the lights to avoid being caught by any teachers. While alone in the darkness, a strange noise echoed from one of the stalls, immediately catching his attention. He started recording on his phone, and what happened next sent him running.
Nah, y'all ever been in a bathroom skipping alone, bro? This shit is crazy. So I'm in here, bro, just alone, and it's like mad weird, bro. Cause like, what if there was some monster or some shit just pop up on me? That shit would be crazy, bro. But I don't know. Like, there's nobody in here. You can come out and shit. I don't even know, bro. But yeah, there's nobody right here, bro. But this shit is crazy, bro. I don't know, but that shit mad weird. What the f? What the f?
After looking through the stalls, Ron realized he was completely alone, or so he thought. As he turned around, the door on the last stall quickly opened. A pitch-black hand opened the door, then vanished into the stall. And as Ron stared ahead, a ghostly face suddenly lunged forward.
Oh,
The quick glimpse of this unsettling face was all it took for Ron to bolt out of there. Now maybe he'll think twice before skipping class. Number 3. Jeff and Phil from the Ghost Tech Paranormal YouTube channel decided to return to a place known as Farm Lodge Cottage. This home sits on what used to be a farm in the 1800s, and across from the cottage is something called a plague pit, where bodies were buried from the bubonic plague back in 1348. The eerie reports of paranormal activity started in 1993 when a few students rented the property, but their stay was cut short due to hearing loud noises and chilling footsteps in the middle of the night. Jeff and Phil made their way inside, set up their equipment, and were ready to begin. But as they were chatting in a hallway, Jeff heard something that sent a chill down his spine.
Oh, like these two. These two are good.
Something's moving in the kitchen.
Hello? F***ing hell.
Something's moving.
Hello?
Jeff continued asking questions, determined to get an answer, and something they couldn't see seemed to be responding.
Do you remember us from last time?
Oh my god, go in and check. Why
My
are you
name's
just standing
Jeff.
there?
And the gentleman with me is Phil. We spoke to you last time. You was telling us that you was from the plague pit across the road? And you've taken up residence here? That made me jump.
Do you want to wander down and join us?
We've come back to speak to you. I hope you don't mind. Can you tell us your name, please? And you've taken up residence here? That made me jump.
Do you want to wander down and join us?
Go and check. Fuck.
We've,
That's why he just stands in the hallway.
We've come back to speak to you. I hope you don't mind.
I get it's a bit of a
The
dodgy
guys then moved
situation,
from
isn't it?
room
It's a
to
little bit
room,
scary.
attempting to make
But if
further
you're there to
contact,
look for
but the
ghosts
movement in the
and then you're
house seemed
scared
to
and
fall
like just in
silent.
another room,
Phil then took the lead
go
and
and
began
check.
conducting his own EVP session,
I get
and
it's a
soon
little bit
enough, the
scary,
voice
but
was
come on.
caught.
When we were here before, you very kindly
You're
communicated
not
with
going to
us.
catch nothing if you don't go and look.
Could I ask if you could do that again, please?
I do like these two though. I've seen quite a few of their videos.
Another EVP comes through saying, "No one." Here is the enhanced audio taken from Phil's digital recorder.
Let's listen.
When we were here before, you very kindly communicated with us.
A low, raspy voice was caught within the static, saying
make it
no
out,
one.
yeah?
Jeff and Phil then made their way to the living room. For their last session, they set up a laser grid in the hallway, which only activates when movement is detected. And what happened next not only scared them, but left them amazed.
Anyway, are
Well,
these,
just-
are, these
just like-
are these spirits going to like get their ass out of bed and do something? Because I'm going to be a bit fed up now. Oh, hello.
Wow.
Okay.
Holy sh**. Are you f***ing kidding me? Oh my god.
That was pretty cool. Thank you.
I can't believe that's just happened.
I know. That's pretty cool.
So
actually.
hold on. So you said you're getting a bit fed up. Are you going to do anything?
Are you going to get their arse out of bed and do something?
Now, I must point out, to make that PIR activate that laser grid, you have to be right in front of it.
Yeah.
And that has never happened before. That's the first time that's ever happened. And how long have we had that?
I made that years ago.
Phil actually developed that. And it's never ever gone off. And I tell you what,
Have you got goosebumps now?
that is the most impressive thing. That just proves that whoever it is actually here. That PIR has now gone off. It's picked up movement in front of it and it's gone off again. Oh shit. Holy f***ing crap.
It can only be turned on by movement, literally.
So what happens is you have to move in front of it in the darkness, and then the laser grid will turn on, and it'll stay on for maybe 30 seconds, and then it'll switch itself back off and reset itself ready for the next, I guess, piece of movement, if you want to say.
Quite good.
And it's just gone off for a second time, and I've never ever seen that before.
Someone or something moved in front of their device, activating the laser grid. The two stared on in amazement, as this was the first time that this ever happened. But as they kept their eye on the laser grid, they noticed something strange.
I can still see the laser grid partially on, but it looks like it's draining. It's draining.
It can't drain, it's running off the mains.
It can't. It's actually draining the power. It's fucking draining the power.
That's running off of a power pack, like I mean, I've run a telly off of that power pack for 6 hours.
Do you remember?
You can't drain a laser grid, a little laser grid like that. I've had the, I mean, even on nah, that's drained it.
Do you remember upstairs what happened to the camera that I was holding? Now that it's draining all the power, so there's no laser grid. It's gone. I would just like to point out that what that's running off, it will last for days, and the power has just been drained, completely drained. That is impossible.
Something in the house mysteriously caused the power pack to completely lose battery, leaving Jeff and Phil stumped, as this battery pack should be able to run for an entire day. So what could possibly drop a full battery down to 0? Number 4. A woman named Sandra has a TikTok account with dozens of random videos from her daily life. But one of these videos is a little different from the rest. Back in March, she shared the heartbreaking news that her mother had passed away. The two were extremely close, and Sandra was left devastated by the loss. In the weeks that followed, she began to notice strange occurrences around her home, subtle, unexplainable things that left her on edge. Well, eventually, one of these moments was caught on camera.
Like, why? I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. And it seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Okay, it's fine.
Wow.
One of the drawers on the dresser mysteriously opened on its own. Sandra stared on as it slowly emerged, no idea how it was happening. She cautiously closed it and took a step back, but nothing happened until she started talking to her mom. So could this be her mother giving her a sign from the other side? Let me know what you think. Number 5. A woman named Jada recently turned to TikTok in search for answers. She had been sitting outside, enjoying the sunshine and the sound of birds while getting some work done. The weather was beautiful, too perfect not to share. So she recorded a quick video to send to her sister. But when she later watched this video back, she heard a voice that she couldn't explain. As she panned the camera around, a faint humming can be heard. The soft voice sounds like it belongs to a woman, but the park was clearly empty and there was no one around her at the time. So who or what could have caused this humming? And what makes this even creepier is this isn't the first time she's caught a voice on camera. While recording a video of a dress, a very similar voice was caught. A very soft, feminine voice sounded like it said, "Take me outside." Jada didn't hear anything at the time and has no idea where these voices are coming from. So is there a logical explanation? Or is there simply a ghost trying to steal the spotlight in all of her videos?
It's attachments, isn't it?
Number 6. A TikTok account called SC486111 is filled with wholesome videos. Cats, small critters, and all things cute and lighthearted. But not every post fits that theme. While this user was away on vacation, a motion alert appeared on their phone, and what they saw in the footage made their hearts skip a beat. Just beyond the white fence, something unsettling was captured. In the neighbor's driveway, a dark silhouette darted from side to side. This unnerving figure rapidly moved in a very unnatural way, a way that doesn't seem physically possible for a person. And this wasn't the only time this figure was caught.
What the fuck is that?
This dark figure came into view from the left side. It approached the car and once again moved back and forth in a very strange way. Whatever this thing is, it sure does look nosy as hell. Number 7. Lately, I've been keeping an eye on the haunting of a man named Kyle Anthony. He's been carefully documenting the unsettling activity in his home for the last few months. What started out as strange noises in the attic has quickly spread throughout his house. This hair-raising activity now happens almost daily, keeping Kyle on edge, but always ready with his phone in hand to capture what happens next.
Gosh dang it, listen to that. You hear it? Can you hear it? It's happening again. See if we can get it this time. Middle of the freaking day. My goodness.
There's your culprit right there. There it is. It's the doll. It's the doll.
It stopped.
Doll out.
He still often catches the door to his attic somehow moving on its own. And despite having a camera set up inside, this strange movement remains a mystery. Something new that Kyle's noticed is an unexplainable voice that always seems to come from his basement. He's heard it multiple times and swears it sounds exactly like a child. But as far as he knows, there's no kids in his basement.
Why do y'all want me to go down in the basement so bad? I'm already scared as hell.
My fiance's home now, so it's a little bit better. But I don't want to go down there. Gosh dang. I haven't heard it again anyway. It was probably just the air conditioner making a freaking noise or something, you know what I mean? Well, okay, no. Okay. That wasn't no toy. That wasn't no toy, y'all. Oh my gosh.
Wait, has he got kids?
That was ridiculous. Yeah, let's just not.
As Kyle stared down the basement stairs, a disembodied voice can be heard saying he's coming back.
It was probably just the air conditioner making a freaking noise or something, you know what I mean? Well, okay, no. Okay.
This chilling voice definitely belonged to a child. But with no kids in the house, how is this possible?
Oh, okay, there's no
As
kids.
the days go on, this activity seems to be getting more frequent. And what Kyle caught next is downright bone-chilling.
Don't be sorry about children.
The heck is that?
It's a demon.
Is that you? What the heck is that? I guess that wasn't you, was it? Was it the basement door?
Something. It sees something. No reason for the cat
We're
to
doing this again.
See.
Change the air filter. It's been fine in the basement today. Anyway, I don't know. What in the heck?
After once again hearing strange noises coming from the basement, he went to investigate. But soon after closing the door, the ominous sound of footsteps rushing up the stairs can be heard. These loud banging footsteps caught Kyle off guard, and when he yanked open the door, no one was there. It's hard to deny the creepy things he's caught so far, and I'll continue to keep an eye on his account for future updates.
That would send you in a bit. Last
Number 8. A TikTok user named Dios3076 believes a spirit has been quietly following her and her children. It doesn't seem threatening. In fact, she suspects it might be the ghost of a child. For weeks, she's been hoping to capture evidence of its presence. Well, one night while leaving home, she finally got the proof she'd been waiting for. As they walked down the driveway, a white anomaly appeared in the yard. This small figure seemed to manifest out of nowhere and casually glided towards them. They didn't notice anything in person, but something strange was definitely caught in this video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to hear more from your boy. As always, if you enjoy these creepy videos,
That one was good. That one was good. I'll say that. Let me go back to his channel. Okay, so I'll watch one more. I'll watch one more. Why not? It's only been 45 minutes, so
welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Today we're taking a look at 10 of the scariest TikToks of all time. Number 1. A man named Joe from the Faithful Trailblazer TikTok account was talking to his uncle when things took an unexpected turn. His uncle mentioned he'd captured something unsettling on his Ring camera, something he couldn't explain. When he showed Joe the footage, it left him frozen, eyes wide, unable to believe what he was seeing. Just beyond his front yard, something strange appeared on the sidewalk. A misty human-shaped figure gliding by. It had no solid form, almost as if it were made of smoke. No one else was outside, and as Joe and his uncle replayed the footage, they were left rattled, unable to make sense of what they were seeing. Number 2. A woman named Katie frequently shares videos on TikTok, offering a glimpse into her life and family. And for some of these videos, she works with brands. Well, for one brand collaboration, Katie gathered her family to help her record a video. But when she later reviewed the footage, a cold chill crept down her spine, as hidden within the seemingly ordinary video was something that made her blood run cold. On the door behind the couch, a peculiar shadow can be seen moving. This slender silhouette slowly moved from left to right, going unnoticed by the family. And what's incredibly strange about this is everyone that was in the house was in full view of the camera. And when this eerie shadow passed by, only the 2 kids on the right were slightly moving, leaving us to question who or what was casting this shadow. After hours of tediously reviewing creepy ghost footage, sometimes I just need something to lighten the mood and get rid of the feeling that something is watching me. And that's where Fishing Clash comes in. Fishing Clash is a free mobile game where you catch fish. Runs the very appropriately named TikTok account, Dude My House is Haunted. For the last few years, he's been dealing with a dark force inside of his home that just won't seem to leave. At the peak of this activity, he would often hear disembodied footsteps walking around, catch glimpses of ghostly apparitions, and on one occasion, dodge knives that somehow got thrown across the room. Tony believed that the spirit in his home belonged to a child, so as a way to test this, he placed a ball on the floor in front of a security camera to see if anything would interact with it. And to his dismay, this is the footage he caught.
Was that like a little laugh or something?
After exhausting his options and trying every solution possible, the activity in his home finally died down. But just as life was returning to normal, there began to be signs that this entity may have returned.
Okay, I was making the video showing you guys that this lamp behind me is moving, and I did 2 videos because it kept moving and kept moving and kept moving, and I was getting ready to shut it off because I was kind of tired of watching it move. And as soon as I went to hit the phone and turn it off, the light came on. I kid you not, I gotta look and see if I caught it. But the freaking light came on, this light right here, and it's still moving. It's still going. It's been moving for a while. There's no strings on the wall, that's just the chain. And I'm not touching
A light hanging from the ceiling mysteriously swung back and forth, although nothing and no one were touching it. Tony showed every possible angle of this lamp to prove that there were no strings attached and that he wasn't the one that was causing this. This unsettling movement was his first clue that something was once again inside of his home. And in the days that followed, he encountered something that made his hair stand on end.
Okay, as you can see, it's a little after 3 o'clock. And I'm hearing kids outside playing. If you listen close, you can hear them. But I've been hearing what sounds like a kid in the house. I know it's probably just an echo from them. Over here, see, I can hear those kids up there. These are some masks my friend got me from Argentina. See, I can hear those kids.
It's the masks. The masks
Let me
are haunted.
move in here. See, you can hear them a little better. They're over behind my backyard. Let me move into the kitchen here. And you can see you can hear them out there pretty good. Somebody mowing their yard. See, that sounded like that was in here. I swear it sounds like it's coming from in here. There's nothing in the bathroom. I was just in here, so I know it's nothing in here. I swear it came down like right down there. It sounded like it came from one of the back rooms or like in the hallway or something. That was weird. What is that?
See you soon.
You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. I swear it sounded like it was in the house.
Despite the kids playing outside, Tony swore that it sounded like one of these voices was coming from inside of the house. He cautiously made his way from room to room, but while in the kitchen, a disembodied voice can be heard behind him, sounding like it's saying, "See ya."
Somebody mowing their yard. See, that sounded like mowing their yard.
Didn't the other one say see you soon?
Mowing their yard. See, that sounded like that was in here.
He walked towards the sound of this voice, and while peering down the hallway, a ghostly whisper called out saying, "See you soon."
Yeah, it is.
What is that?
See you soon.
You gotta be kidding. You gotta be. What is that?
See you soon.
What is that?
See you soon.
You gotta be
It's like
kidding. You gotta be.
it's like Momo or something.
This unnerving voice made him jump and left him at a loss for words. From the crystal clear sound of this voice, there's no denying that it came from inside the house. But considering he was home alone at the time, this becomes a whole lot harder to explain. Number 4. According to a man named Alan on TikTok, ever since he was a child, he always felt like something was following him. No matter where he went, an ominous presence seemed to cling to him, a dark shadow that was always watching. And every night as he laid in bed trying to fall asleep, he would open his eyes and catch a glimpse of a man in all black standing in the corner of his room. This pitch-black figure would ominously stand in place and stare directly at him. Well, fast forward to today, and Alan is almost certain that he finally caught proof of this menacing apparition. While his security camera was recording overnight, it managed to catch a dark figure walking in front of his house. This black silhouette seemed to suddenly manifest into view before creeping towards the right. But after it went out of view behind the pillar, it never re-emerged on the other side. The sight of this being sent a chill down Alan's spine the first time he reviewed this footage, as it brought back all the memories from his childhood of the dark figure that would stand in his room. Number 5. On February 5th at 9:40 in the morning, a TikTok user named Mildred woke up to find her dog sleeping at the foot of her bed. Thinking this was cute, she decided to record a quick video with her phone. But it wasn't until she later rewatched this video that she noticed something that made her stomach drop. You probably didn't catch that, so let's take a closer look.
Well, if she learned how to use a fucking camera, then we would see it properly, wouldn't
On the floor at the foot of the bed looks to be an eerie, ghostly face. This pale face can be seen for a split second, but as the camera panned away, then came back, this face had vanished. Mildred couldn't believe what she was seeing as she replayed the video, staring at what appears to be a woman's head on the floor. According to this TikTok user, there was no one else in the room besides her sister, who was asleep next to her in bed. I'm not quite sure what to call this, but it's definitely giving me the creeps. And if this thing ever shows up in my room, I won't hesitate to kick it out the window. Number 6. Late one night, a TikTok user named Felicia let her dog outside before bed. She stood on her back porch, throwing a ball for her dog to fetch. But as she stood there, surrounded by the sound of chirping crickets, she heard something that sent her running inside. While staring down at her phone, a ghostly voice seemed to call out. The sound of this voice immediately startled her, causing her to turn around, fully expecting to find someone standing there. If you listen closely, it sounds like this voice is saying, "Get out of here." And Felicia claims that when she heard this voice, it sounded like it came from directly behind her. And as she ran inside the house, her dog stood there confused, wondering what happened to playtime. Number 7. TikTok user Kubo Koi is an account run by a guy named Tyler. He often buys and resells things that he finds on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Well, one day while he was browsing online, he found a box full of random items for sale, with one of the items inside being an old doll. While messaging the seller, she began to ask Tyler bizarre questions. Do you have a family? Are you gonna give that doll to a kid? Obviously a little creeped out, he proceeded with caution, but couldn't resist purchasing the box for only $5. Strangely enough, the same day he brought the box home, unusual things started to happen. He began to hear sounds as if someone else was in the room with him, and it was at this moment that he pulled out his phone to record.
It's always the dog.
Dude, I swear this box just moved on its own. Shoot this again. Oh,
The box on his desk suddenly moved completely on its own.
No,
He
mate,
carefully
the
stepped
house is
closer
getting
to take a
bad.
look inside, but as his eyes scanned
Like
over
that
the
shit
box, the doll eerily moved. After this incident, he tossed the doll in his closet and out of sight. But the very next day, he began to hear this. The alarming sound of knocking was coming from his closet. He inched closer, not quite sure what to expect to find inside. And as he slid open the door, there was the doll sat directly in front of him. The following day, as he was playing video games, he could have sworn he heard something moving in his room. Thinking fast, he took off his headphones and began recording.
So I'm playing video games at my desk, and I just heard the guitar play itself, and it moved, I swear. Let's see if it does it again.
Somehow the guitar against the wall began sliding to the left, immediately followed by banging once again coming from the closet. 24 hours later, as he sat in his room, the sound of running water caught his attention.
So I'm at my desk, and I just heard the water in the bathroom turn on by itself. This is the first time something's happened outside my room. So
I've never understood why people have shower curtains like
You're in here
halfway
to
open or
move
even a
the
little bit
curtain
open.
again?
Like just open the whole thing.
Alright. Do you want me to leave?
The bathroom sink was now somehow on, and after turning it off, he noticed the shower curtain mysteriously moving. He peered behind the curtain, only to reveal that no one was there. But after asking the spirit to move the curtain again, it did just that, looking as if an invisible hand pushed the curtain forward. These spine-chilling events quickly became a daily occurrence, usually happening while he's
At least he's
alone in
very
his
calm.
room.
So
Most
it just
people wouldn't
started
be as calm.
knocking in the closet again.
He's got it looking at him. Seriously,
And
nah.
actually, the doll has moved since yesterday because it was in the corner, like kind of on its back, looking upwards, and now it's upright. So that's kind of scary.
Oh shit.
See if it'll knock anymore.
Nah, mate. Light that shit on fire.
Or it'll just move the shirt in the closet.
The whole thing just burn it down.
Hey, if you can hear me, just move it again. Alright. And we can actually just go check it out. Because there's no one in here. It's not really, it's kind of cluttered, so. Yesterday it was over here.
Amazingly, the shirt in the closet eerily slid to the right. He somehow managed to keep his cool as he showed that no one was hiding inside. These shocking events have left him desperate for answers, and he's seriously considering reaching out to the woman that sold him this doll. Meanwhile, I would simply introduce this doll to my friend, Mr. Fire.
Yeah, there you go, there you go.
Number 8. The WV Paranormal TikTok account is run by a man who lives deep in the woods with his family. After a series of unsettling encounters, he decided to install cameras around his property. And late one night, one of these cameras caught something that made his blood run cold. From within the dark forest, a gray, unrecognizable figure slowly emerged. This disturbing creature seemed to have unnaturally long, thin arms, unlike anything I've ever encountered. 5 days later, another notification from the camera appeared. This time, the footage revealed a chillingly clear glimpse of whatever had been lurking in the woods.
probably shouldn't have done major spice.
The same figure suddenly materialized from the darkness, its movements slow and unnervingly unnatural. Its disturbingly long arms and gray body were unmistakable as it dashed to the right, vanishing into the shadows. I think I can confidently say that this was not an animal, leaving two possible explanations. Either this was a ghost, or a strange person that desperately needs a tan. Number 9. Over on TikTok, a guy named Randy often posts funny, relatable videos. But something that he's mentioned on his account before is thinking that his house may be haunted. He recently installed a Ring camera in his living room, and one night, several notifications from this camera continued to pop up on his phone. Thinking it was just his dogs, he wasn't worried. But after watching the footage, fear quickly set in.
I mean, that could be a string.
Everything in the room was still until a chair at the dining table suddenly jolted across the floor. This sudden movement definitely looks like someone yanked the chair out, someone we cannot see. Then moments later, the chair continued to slide across the room and out of view. Randy has no explanation for this, but if I were him, I would avoid sitting in that chair at all costs.
I'm not too fussed.
Number 10. Back in 2023, a man named Jorge was driving down the road with his family when something in the distance caught his eye. The lights on a church ominously flickered over and over. He decided to hop out of the car and record a quick video of himself outside of the church. But according to Jorge, as soon as he got home, the energy in the house felt heavier. Within the next few days, terrifying things began to happen to him, his wife, and their kids. Fast forward to today, and Jorge is still dealing with a malevolent force that refuses to leave his family alone.
I don't even want to wake her up. What the? Leave us alone. Leave us alone. We're not scared of you anymore. Leave us alone. Just sit back down. Just sit back down. I'm not waking up the babysitter. It's crazy. Leave us alone. What the? Okay.
Yo, that's insane.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Come here. Oh, come on, baby.
As his wife sat at a table with their daughter, the cross on the wall suddenly flipped upside down. The remote on the couch then got flung to the floor, and it was at this moment that she stood up to firmly demand this spirit to leave them alone. But in response, a chair at the table was yanked out by an unseen force. She finally had enough, grabbed her baby, and her kids got the hell out of there. But it looks like this spirit wasn't quite done. Because of this activity, several cameras are set up around the house. And late one night, the camera in their bedroom caught something downright bone-chilling.
That's a loud knock. Fuck, man. Yo, that's actually...
While everyone was sleeping, the unsettling sound of banging
That's
came from the
good
other
footage,
side of their
come on.
door. As this banging continued, the door slowly began to creak open, and Jorge's wife slowly approached before exiting the room. But as she did, the bedroom door closed shut completely on its own. Dealing with this activity has been a constant struggle for this family, and if I were to give some advice, maybe contact a priest. Or like 7 priests. Quick reminder to check out Fishing Clash by clicking the link in the description below and using my code FEARSOME. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to hear more from your boy. As always.
Oh, it was. Bastard. It's been 74 minutes. You know what? Fuck it. I'll watch one more. One more. Why not? Treat myself. I'm enjoying these. These are good. These are good.
Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. Prepare to take a look at 8 scary ghost videos caught on TikTok. Number 1. In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a small town became the site of one of the bloodiest battles in American history. Over 50,000 soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing during the 3-day clash in 1863. And among the most chaotic and violent places on that battlefield was Devil's Den, a jagged area of boulders where Union and Confederate troops fought at close range, leaving behind not just bodies, but something else. Visitors today claim to hear gunfire, ghostly voices, and get sudden chills. And creepiest of all, some visitors claim to see phantom soldiers appearing and disappearing among the rocks. A few years ago, a woman named Steph shared her dad's unsettling experience at Devil's Den. He and a friend were exploring the rocky site when they asked a nearby visitor to snap a photo of them. But later on, when they reviewed the live photo, they noticed something chilling hiding in the frame.
Oh, shit.
In the background of the photo, a dark figure can be seen standing between 2 massive boulders. It almost looks like it was posing just long enough to be caught on camera. Neither of the men heard a sound, and they're positive that no one was behind them when the photo was taken. So who or what did they capture? And could this be proof of the phantom soldiers that are sometimes spotted at Devil's Den? Number 2. A man named Ross took to TikTok with what he believes might be evidence of the paranormal. After recently losing his father, Ross installed several security cameras in his dad's home. But what he didn't expect is for one of them to capture this. on the wall behind the flowers, a large dark shadow suddenly appeared. This dark mass stretched across the wall, eventually getting way larger than the windows across from it. Oddly enough, as this black mass appeared, the lighting outside didn't change in the slightest. The shape definitely doesn't resemble a person, or even a car, so what exactly caused this to appear? A chilling detail that Ross later added is directly on the other side of that wall is where his father passed, so maybe this is his way of stopping by to say hello. Number 3. TikTok user Miklo1985 was left stunned after his neighbor showed him some chilling footage captured right outside his home. Late one night, the motion camera on his neighbor's house was triggered, and when they checked the video the next morning, it sent a cold chill down their spines. In the middle of the road, directly in front of Miklo's house, a ghostly white figure appeared. This misty, translucent shape clearly resembled a person, casually putting one foot in front of the other like it was just out for a late-night stroll. Miklo's jaw was on the floor, and honestly, same, because what the is that? Number 4. Over on a TikTok account run by a man named Michael, a video was posted that caught my eye. According to Michael and his wife, they often hear the unnerving sound of a baby crying inside their home, which tends to freak them out considering there's no babies in the house. After dealing with this for some time, they finally caught proof of what they were hearing.
I'm sorry, that would send you west. Hearing a baby scream. And you got no kids.
Hey. Yeah. Did you hear baby crying? No, I opened the door. Oh, I thought that's why you opened the door. I heard it crying a long time in here.
As Michael came up the stairs, he was immediately greeted by the familiar sound of a baby crying. He listened closely as this eerie, disembodied voice continued to shriek.
That's loud as well.
This haunting whine caught his full attention, freezing him in place as he intently listened. Michael and his wife are convinced that something paranormal is going on, but if anyone out there is missing a baby, I think I found it. Number 5. A man named Tristan has been documenting the hair-raising activity that surrounded him for the last 3 years. On his TikTok account, you'll find countless videos of his experiences that he hasn't been able to explain. While alone in his apartment, he constantly has a feeling that an unseen presence is in the room with him, silently watching. And occasionally this feeling is correct, as unexplainable things begin to happen around him. as he laid in bed, the faint sound of knocking caught his attention, and just as he began recording, his bedroom door slowly started to close. He sat staring ahead, frozen in fear as he watched the door move. And eerily enough, as he continued recording, countless orbs can be seen floating past his camera. As creepy as this was, you'd be surprised to hear that he's actually captured worse. The entity in his home clearly doesn't mind being noticed, and I'd go as far as to say it seems like a bit of an attention seeker. As time went on, not much seemed to change. The unsettling sounds of knocking continued around the apartment, and one day, after deciding to set up his phone to record, he caught way more than he expected.
Là, je suis en train de me battre pour mettre les diagrammes et les chiffres.
After the camera was recording for some time, it eventually caught a plastic box getting violently thrown from a shelf. But it also caught something you may have missed. Just before the box was thrown, something chilling can be seen in the doorway. A ghostly figure hauntingly stood in the darkness before eventually walking towards the left. Its pale face was motionless as it stared towards the camera, and its presence is undeniable as it clearly walked out of frame. This unnerving face must belong to the entity that's infested his home. And after catching this, my stuff would have been packed up and on a U-Haul immediately. Number 6. A woman on TikTok that goes by Villain's Deeds has a sister who's currently fixing up an old cabin in Oregon. Often while she's in the cabin, her toddler and dog are by her side. But over time, she's noticed her toddler occasionally talking to someone who isn't there. One day as she pulled up to the cabin, she could have sworn she heard a phone ring. A ring that sounded like it belonged to an old house phone. Trying to catch it on camera, she began recording, but she ended up catching something entirely different.
There's something moving in the door. The thing is, that door in there is really stiff. Like all of them are. So there's nothing hanging there. What the fuck is that? It's creepy. It's gotta be something. I just get a moment. What the fuck? It just fucking what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Holy fuck.
She quickly noticed what looked like a dark figure standing on the deck. This black silhouette stood completely still until it suddenly began to move, appearing to drift inside of the house. Her heart began to race as she knew there was no one at the house besides her, or at least that's what she thought. Number 7. The Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, located in Tennessee, is renowned as one of the most haunted locations in the state. Established in 1959, it served the community until its closure in 1998. Since then, it's become a focal point for paranormal investigations. From shadowy figures roaming the halls to the ghostly voice of a child calling out in the night. The stories that echo through these halls are downright bone-chilling. A woman named Holly Davenport from the Fearful Encounters Paranormal Group recently ventured to this abandoned hospital And while investigating inside, she managed to catch something downright terrifying. As she walked down the hallway, Holly slowly panned her camera to the right, capturing the empty corridor ahead. But the moment she swung it back around, something had changed. Now standing directly in front of her was a tall, dark figure, unnaturally thin and dark as night. It didn't move, it didn't make a sound, and somehow Holly hadn't noticed the ominous presence just a few feet away. But when she caught a glimpse of it on her phone, her eyes quickly widened and her jaw hit the floor. Number 8. For the past few years, a man named Josh has been documenting the chilling activity unfolding in his home. With cameras placed throughout the house, he's made it his mission to capture evidence of the entity he believes is tormenting him. From objects moving in the middle of the night to faint shadows darting across the walls, Josh is convinced that something dark somehow attached itself to him. And over time, he eventually caught proof of the things he's been experiencing. In the darkness of his basement, an unseen force made its presence known as several objects in the room began to move. First the tree, then the doll, and lastly the plant all fell to the floor without an apparent reason. Then oddly enough, the room began to fill with orbs. A couple weeks later, Josh almost fell out of his chair after hearing what was caught on the camera in his kitchen. The room was still and no one was around, yet somehow a disembodied laugh was caught. This hair-raising voice sounded like it belonged to a woman, but unnervingly, there was no one else in the house at the time. With goosebumps on his arms, Josh wasn't sure what to make of this, and things only got creepier when his camera then caught this. The undeniable sound of footsteps were caught in his basement. Loud and clear, this bone-chilling sound filled the room, possibly belonging to the spirit whose voice was previously caught. And speaking of this voice, it seemed to make a chilling return. Just outside of his bathroom, a menacing voice seemed to be speaking directly into the camera. With a raspy tone, it spoke in full sentences, although it's hard to tell exactly what it's saying. He thought this was the creepiest thing he'd caught yet, but little did he know he was about to catch something downright horrifying. Around 8 p.m., a dark figure was caught walking through his kitchen. This terrifying silhouette slowly walked towards the right, and as it stopped, a bright light can be seen moving past the cabinets. Watching this piece of footage left Josh shaken up and honestly not sure what to do. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to hear more from your boy. As always, if you enjoy these creepy videos, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see.
Hey, there we go. I enjoyed that. There's some pretty good videos there. I don't know, sometimes it's hard to tell whether one could be faked or stuff like that, like the ones with the chairs. You know, it's if they're always getting pulled the same way, I find it hard to believe in that regard. But if it gets jostled about, maybe. But let me know what your favourites were, and if anyone's got a creator in mind that they want me to watch, whoever's your favourite, whatever. I don't care if it's like 2 hour long videos. I've been watching Jasko, so his videos are all 2 hours, so I'll be used to it. So yeah, go ahead and drop that down in the comments and we'll see how it goes. But until then, I'll catch you at the